Hi guys, Skippy here again. Following up on my last video with the last 4 months of 2023 with my end of year recap. So, when you're doing a budget, like a monthly budget, like I showed you guys, it's in my opinion, it's very important to do this at the very end. Um, because it kind of, number one, it'll probably make you feel a little better because when you average things out, the numbers don't look as bad as looking on an individual basis month by month, right? So, you know, let's just quickly go over it. So 90,000 was the budget. Let's just look at some of these numbers. This is what I mean. When you look at month by month, February 114,907, March 96,931, April 116,813, May 103,217, July. I did mention this before. The reason this number is so low, 48,000, that's what I spent for that month. I had to go home in June due to a family event. So there's the reason that that month in June, the month of June was so low as far as what I spent in Thailand. Now, I didn't include like, when I go home or I travel somewhere, I generally don't include it in the budget like that because I'm trying to show you what I spent inside of Thailand. Okay. I mean, if you guys are going to travel, some guys come here and they just stay in Thailand. There's plenty of places to go see in Thailand if you want to travel around. Um, but uh, at this point, I'm not going to. It would skew these numbers to put United States cost to things of what I spent in June. And the purpose of this whole video series is to show you guys what it costs to live in Thailand, not what it costs to live in Thailand and go home. So, all right, let's moving on. July, I guess I made up for that low month, 155, 365. August 99,028, September 97,703, October 112,039, November 106,011, and December 110,509 for the grand total of 1,160,971,000 Thai baht and 91 satang. Now, I didn't include January in this number because uh, I got here January 16th of 2023. Uh, I was busy getting visas sorted, figuring out how things work. It was only 2 weeks. I didn't really want to include 2 weeks into the mix here, so I started with February because it's a full month. So we're averaging 11 months here. Okay. But again, when you look at these numbers, they look much worse than the monthly average. The monthly average, and big thanks to June, big shout out to June for lowering that down, uh, comes to 105, 542,000 uh, Thai baht and 90 satang. So we're looking at my budget was 90,000, and I averaged 105, 542 Thai baht per month. That's equates to a monthly overage average of 15,542 baht and 90 satang. Look, that's still a lot. What is that? Like about 400 bucks. Let me just do a quick uh 15,542.90 is about 477 US dollars. So yeah, it's a lot. I mean, some guys that's not going to be a lot. To me, I consider that too much overspending. Again, it's my first year. I was a little nutty. The purpose of doing this whole exercise of tracking your budget like this to me is so you know what you're spending. You know where you're going over. You can kind of see in what categories you're going over. And you can make changes. You can course correct. And you'll see that I've done that when I start getting into 2024 and especially 2025. So, look, some guys are going to be able to come here, immediately be on their budget, hitting it every month. And I respect those guys because I couldn't do it. I did even my 90,000 budget to me is too high. All right, but I knew it was my first year. I knew I was going to overspend a little, and I even overspent more. I would probably say if you're like me, make your first year's budget 100,000. If you can, again, I've mentioned this before. I know guys that live here and spend 200,000, 300,000 baht per month. I also know guys that live here and spend as low as 40 or 50,000 baht per month. You can do this multiple ways depending on your budget. Now, for me, I would totally recommend that you have a budget of at least 65,000 baht per month. Okay, the caveat to that is if like you're not a drinker, you have no interest in having fun with the girls or going out like that, then you're going to be lower. Okay, if you're like that kind of person, you're going to move to Isan or one of the northern provinces or something, you're going to come in way cheaper. This is living in Pattaya. Uh, I'm assuming you all know what that's about. Things are more expensive there, and you can spend as much as you want. Um, you know, but for me, if I were going to live in Pattaya, the minimum in Thailand, I don't want to say Pattaya, my minimum budget would be 65,000. Now I know guys that do it less than that. I mean, but for me, if somebody asked me what's the lowest I could live here for, I would probably say 65,000. And that still allows for a little bit of fun, a little bit of going out to dinner and things like that. But okay, so again, it is what it is. I overspent on a monthly basis about 15,542 baht. And that's again, do I wish I had spent less? Sure. Did I have a good time? Hell yeah. So that's that. My next video is going to start with January of 2024. In that time, number one, the girlfriend was shed at that point, or we separated for the best. I wouldn't do something like that again. Again, that whole 30,000 baht per month salary thing. I was in some pretty bad shape for a few months. I would have needed, if I didn't have a girlfriend living with me, I would have needed to pay for a uh, home health aide or possibly a nurse to come in. That probably would have been less than 30,000 baht per month. Uh, I'm sure it would be less than 30,000 baht per month. But in any case, what I had was a home health aide that was with me 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it really made things a lot easier for me. Now, I'll knock on wood here. Uh, I'm so far healthy again. And I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. I'll explain what happened to me later. I just want to get through these budget videos, and then I'll talk about medical care in Thailand, health insurance, what happened to me, the importance of having a nest egg, uh, and some kind of little income, but I'm going to get into all that stuff later. So anyway, that's going to wrap up the year of 2023. 11 months living in Thailand. The next video will be starting in probably January. We'll do January and February of 2024. Uh, Again, I apologize for not uploading in over a month. I will do my best to try to at least do something weekly. But I hate to make promises I can't keep, but I am going to try. I want to thank the people that subscribed. I think I got 8 or 9. Look, I appreciate it. Um, if you guys like the videos, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Or I don't even know if YouTube still has thumbs down. I'll have to check that. But you can always leave a comment that you don't like it or tell me what you want better. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And that's it, guys. All right, so I will see you on the next video covering we're going to start covering the year of 2024. We'll do a recap just like this one, and you'll see how this budget has helped me spend less. And obviously, when you live here long enough, you kind of learn where to go to get the better deals and stuff like that, if that's something that's important to you. I mean, I'm going to admit I'm a bit of a cheap Charlie in the sense that, look, if I want something, I'll get it. I'll pay for it. But I don't see the wisdom of just tossing money away or, I've always been like that. So that's that. All right, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.